What's up, guys? RV Tech Pro here. Got a little tool haul for you. I missed the last one. I bought a bunch of stuff and I already loaded it up in the Mac tool cart, and I forgot to do a tool haul video. But I want to do one right here on these connectors. These are my favorite connectors, and I recently got some new ones for some different sizes. Stuck home with COVID, unfortunately. So I'll probably get caught up on some videos. So as you probably already know, my favorite connectors are these Wago. I believe they pronounce it Vago, but I say Wago because I'm American. We normally butcher foreign names of things. And these connectors are good. They're called lever nuts. You pull the lever up, put the wire in there, close the lever down, and then you have a solid connection without damaging the wire. And as you can see from the box, it's made for stranded or solid core wire. It works just as good. On these are only good for up to like 12 gauge wire, which is why I had to get some other ones for 10 gauge wire for doing shore power cords, things like that. All that wire, when you're working on an RV, that's gonna be 10 gauge wire, especially your shore power cords. When you have a disconnectable cord, there's a small length of wire that goes to a junction box before it hits that little receptacle on the side of your camper. And typically that's going to be a bigger wire size. So as you can see, I'm going to put them both in my hand so you can see the difference. So it's kind of confusing because they're both called 221s, but you can see that this one is way bigger than the other one. So this one's for the 10 gauge wire. So I got a box of those, and they listed in metric, but you can see it has like 24 gauge is the minimum, 12 gauge is the maximum. On this one, 20 gauge is the minimum, and 10 gauge is the maximum. And then I have the 3-ways. I have them all the way up to like 5-ways. And there again, that's a 24, 12, 24. And then another recent addition, and if you're an electrician or you work on RVs, these are gonna be your best friend. It's a straight, so takes the place of the butt connector. Again, it's called the 221. The rest of the numbers are different, which so these are 221s, 2401s, those are the straights. The 221 612s, those are the big ones. And the 221 412s, those are the small ones. So that's how you can tell if you're getting a 10 gauge Wago or if you're getting the 12 gauge max Wago. And then on the 3-way, it's the 221 413. The main ones that come in, I don't know if they make anything else in a 10 gauge but a 2-way. So that's the one you want to look out for, that part number for the 221 612. But yeah, these straights, these are pretty cool. And then one of their older styles, the push in type, you can remove these after you put them on. They're harder. This is a very compact design. I think these would be great for solid core. It's for stiff wire. Flexible wire you're not going to be able to use on this, but any type of stiff stranded or solid core is going to be great for that. That is 4 wires being connected in a very tight space, so that's very nice. And the part number on that is right there. So then I got a couple of the knockoffs because Wagos are very expensive. I mean, you're talking about like 50 cents a piece. And when you're buying 500 of them at a time, it can get expensive. And I stock them on my truck because that's my preferred wire connector. So I picked up some of these, and these are just a Chinese knockoff. But what I liked about these is they have a tongue and groove system to where you can connect the singles together to make, so if I had to hook up 2 pieces of Romex, some 12-2, I can interlock 3 of these together and have it, you know, like almost like a Molex connector. So that's what I like about those. Stand alone, it compares to the straight. Put them together, it's different than this 2-way because it also gives the pass through. So it's different. And these are only like 10 cents a piece. So it's way cheaper. Also got some ferrules. I need to get some double barrel ferrules. And if you don't know what a ferrule is, you take stranded wire, put in this, and it gives you the benefits of having it all together, more like a solid core wire. And the reason you want that is because, say if you're hooking into a terminal strip, the screw is going to force down on the wires in a stranded piece of cable that it contacts first. The rest of them are going to spread out. You're not really using the full capacity of the wire. So the ferrule gives you the ability to use the full capacity of the wire. Plus it looks really nice. It's a nice tidy install. And with the double ferrules, the sleeve is wide. They're designed to take 2 conductors. So what people will do is they might have some 14 gauge wire. They'll get a 12 gauge butt connector, a straight one, and then force 2 wires on one end so they can go from 2 wires to 1. Whereas what you really should be doing is using a ferrule, go from 2 wires into a double barreled bootlace ferrule, crimp that down with this, which is a ferrule crimping tool. And once you crimp that down, you have that nice solid connection. Then you can use a standard connector to make your, so if you're going from 2 to 1, maybe I'll grab the straight, go there, go there. So I got 2 wires on this side, 1 wire on that side, and that's how you would do that. So got them in all sizes. You can see the wire gauges there. Car audio guys, the professional ones, they know about these, because instead of crimping them in their application, they just find the right size for the wire, put it inside the amplifier terminal, and as they crank down on the screw, it deforms, because that's a very thin metal, tin cladded copper, and it will deform to the shape of the housing for whatever, if it's a speaker slot or a power slot, and it crimps it while you're tightening down into the amplifier or EQ or crossover, whatever you're using, thereby giving you the full capacity of the wire that you're using instead of just pinching a few strands and spreading out the rest. So these are very handy things, come in handy. I mean, a lot of guys are not going to go through the trouble of using ferrules, and a lot of people are not going to spend the money on buying Wagos, but I think it's worth it. So you techs that work at the dealerships, your dealer should be buying these. You know, it's fast, it's efficient, it's a short connection that you can't really mess up, versus a butt connector, which always fail because people either squeeze them too tight, breaking the strands, or they don't crimp them tight enough, which is most common, and the wires come loose. And the unit is back in for service. Speaking of service, you can tell where these are made because I can't read Chinese, but these are some lightweight aluminum adjustable wrench, and it's for working under sinks. So you got to get that nut loose under the sink when you're working on an RV or even in your house. You need a big enough pipe wrench that has a big enough mouth to go wide like this one is, but you need a short enough handle so you could swing around the P-trap and all the other pipes. So this becomes a very good tool. So when I saw that, I just had to have it. So I picked that up. The ferrules came in this kit with the crimping tool, so that was nice. And what else did I get? Center punch, automatic center punch. Even went through the table there. So that's good. And that's my tea. Some herbal tea for me. But yeah, that's what I got, guys. If you don't have these, if you hadn't tried them, you want to try them, these are great tools. Even your connectors become great tools. If you get good ones and you use them properly, it can keep you from having to go back or get a comeback and let your repair stand the test of time. So I would invest in them, especially if you're in business for yourself. If you're not in business for yourself, you can't really control what your organization will buy and what they won't buy, and it's on them when it comes back. Unless you're flat rate, then they make sure it's on you anyway, because that's a scam. But if you have the choice, go ahead and buy the good stuff, use the proper connectors, do the job right the first time so it doesn't come back. That's all for now. RV Tech Pro out.